from there, looks like we're going to go ahead and close this down real fast. Dice didn't win. Dio's confused. Don't worry, we all are. All right, next up is going to be, let's see here. Next up is going to be Daioutzu and Ulti in the winner's side. This is going to be a best of 5, so if you guys could go ahead and start that lobby and send us over the invite. I can actually say that on stream for once because Dio's in chat. This I am looking forward to. This I'm looking forward to because we know Dio's fundamentals, we know his like insanely strong game plan, and we know that like we saw Ulti do some cool stuff. So I'm looking forward to it.
So what I think we need to look forward to is how each player controls the match. So Daioutzu, like I said, controls very low speed games. If the ball speed is like under 100, that's usually where he's shining brightest, and he's just like nailing damage off of you. Ulti is he's more position based, and I think the higher speed game is going to favor him a little bit more. So it's going to be interesting to see like how Ulti competes with Daioutzu's low speed game, what he does to get the ball to higher speeds, and how Daioutzu reacts to higher speed gameplay.
Yeah, I actually think that really anything can happen. I've seen Dio dominate games, but I haven't seen enough of Ulti at all to really understand his chances here. And also we're gonna probably move into this in just there's the lobby link. We got it. We're gonna go ahead.
I just joined on Daioutzu.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm impatient. I'm raring to get in the action.
I'm ready to go. Let me go ahead and update this. All right, just a second on the overlays. I'll give you the go-ahead in a moment, players. And, oh no, this is winners finals, not winners semis. My mistake.
This is winners finals.
All right, it looks like
Daioutzu giving me flack for joining in before Ulti did.
We're forcing Ulti to play. Okay, Ulti played green last time and he won the set, so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and Daioutzu's telling me, he says, I don't know the green player matchup. I don't know how to handle that.
I don't know how to deal with that spawn position.
I don't know how to deal with that same exact spawn position.
Yeah, this is going to be a best of 5. It is winners finals. Winners finals, losers finals, and grand finals are best of 5, and I think we are just about ready. By the way, guys, let me know if Monk or the game audio is clipping slightly. It has been boosted. It was boosted a while ago, but let me just make sure that things are pretty smooth across the board. However, we're moving into winners finals. Again, like you said, this is going to be about control, this is going to be about speed, and it's going to be about an immediate clank happening on the neutral wall.
Both players favoring the charge startup. It's a startup that has recently gained popularity, but like at the beginning was not favorable as opposed to like Smash or Bunting.
Really fast switch flip coming out. He's going into a neutral angle actually to try and keep control of the ball. The parry takes out Dio, and that's going to be a stock in favor of Ulti.
Yeah, that was very impressive play for both players. Daioutzu was playing very smart, very patiently. Ulti got in hit stun. Daioutzu tried to bait it out, and when he thought it was safe, came back in for a swing. Ulti, however, anticipated that and extended the parry.
Yeah, and back there on that last stock that we just saw, Ulti spaced himself perfectly. He just mistimed it, possibly anticipating a parry extension. Ooh, the dice spec, actually the curveball flipping right behind the player, and that's going to be the second stock. So Dio's now ahead, but only slightly. We're not talking leads here, we're talking who's got control of the match.
Yes. So that last stock, I wanna call attention to something that like may be a little weird, and if Daioutzu is doing this on purpose, he's smarter than I've ever given him credit for. But he walked into like 3 balls in a row. And I think he might have done that intentionally to slow down the ball speed.
That would be totally crazy, actually.
I think he might have realized he had health to spare, so wanted to slow down the ball speed, and then, just capitalize on low ball speed play.
Dio actually standing right next to the parry going through, just waiting for it, just saying you go for me. A down throw, complete mixed up. It probably would have punished if he went straight with that throw, but he decided not to. Get up attack is going to actually get it back in his possession, and right now it's just back and forth between these two players, everything leading into a bunt, and ulti managing to take that. Also, it looks like, yeah, down throw also slows down ball speed. That's why Daio's doing it. Good point, yeah.
Yeah. Daioutzu is playing like the very mean parry game where he is like, anytime you're close to me, I'm throwing out parries because I want you to walk into this. And it's kind of dissuading ulti from like approaching. Ulti, though, setting up a nice 50-50 in this center of the stage. Daioutzu getting lured in.
And now we're in a last stock situation. Honestly, this is just going to come down to who... Daioutzu losing his health lead, and it's now at kill speed for both players. Dio into the special, gets caught by ulti into another hit, a raw hit near the top of the screen. Bunted, smash attack. It's just going back and forth right now. Both players absolutely keeping control of it. There's no flubs into a vertical. A vertical just kind of hanging around. Man, what is going on? There's so much going between these two players right now.
The patience on both of these players is incredible. And there we go. Daioutzu manages to steal one.
That was actually that was actually pretty impressive because what I saw was going on there was both players had full confidence that they would space themselves at the right place at the right time and then get a bunt and get it into their own hit. They were reducing the hit pause. If either of them got a raw hit at that speed, I have a feeling it would turn into the most dirty of 50-50s for both sides, but it actually worked out quite well. They were keeping control, they were holding on to it, and that's game one in favor of Dio.
I also want to comment on the fact that they got into Eclipse mode, and there was that part where like there was just a stray ball, and it ended up being like just a straight vertical ball. Both players waited. They respected each other enough. They were like, okay, we're both here, and if I go for it, I'm gonna die here. So I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna space this out better before I do anything else.
All right, game two. This is the what do we call this map? The elevator? What do you guys call this?
Elevator's a good name for it because it is an elevator.
Yeah, and with the exception of the desert, this is actually one of the most interesting maps because it's so long and so short, relatively. Map sizes in this game are all about the same thing. They're all rectangles, no big deal going on there. But this one's kind of interesting. I've heard varying opinions on it. However, this first stock, Dio having the color counter pick, deciding to switch his color, possibly saying like I'm gonna go serious mode now. You know, this is a tournament we're in.
Yeah, he's saying I've transcended. I am now Domino the Blessed.
A spike at the bottom of the screen that actually looks incredibly strange. Graphically, Dio actually catching the full charge. Ulti failed the call out, but I respect it.
Not that last hit, but the hit right before that where Daioutzu had that spike. I have to give respect to Daioutzu because he chose not to parry there. It's very easy when you're in that situation and all your angles are covered immediately to just throw out a parry and hope for the best, but people will grab you.
That was a pretty impressive switch flip, and I do respect Dio's interesting choice of down throwing in the middle of a low speed combo, just to try and mix up the other player, force them to think, because you're not necessarily going to get any hard punish off that. They can react in time, but you're going to force them to think, and going to force them to think what options you're going to pick when the ball speed gets faster. Speaking of getting faster, Dio keeping it in the left side of the screen. Ulti returns with a raw hit. Dio with a raw spike. Anything can go on at the moment. These are some pretty 50-50 situations. One of these players having really low hit pause. However, now it leads into some stuff. Dio getting the smash attack. Ulti just seals it, man. Ulti just seals it.
Yeah. Ulti. So Daioutzu had the unfortunate difficulty with positioning. He was pressed up against the wall that entire time, whereas he's generally the player that is pushing people up against the wall. Ulti overstepping his positioning and getting caught by a down punch is quite unfortunate, evening the game out though.
Looks like we're about even now. These returns are pretty impressive. Dio totally read the up angle from the switch, which is one of the few angles in the game that actually goes in the complete reverse direction. I think the only other one that does something similar is Candyman's back spike, which goes upward. Good return by Daioutzu, good catch. This is a really bad situation for Daioutzu, but he actually manages to get the bun into the smash attack with the parry, and the grounded switch flip doesn't seem to come out from ulti. Actually would have saved him there too.
That's the second tech flip he's had on that.
Yeah. You really can't be missing grounded switch flips because a failed grounded switch flip, if you guys don't know, uses the taunt input. And if you fail the grounded switch flip, good option by the way, you end up doing a full taunt, which is the worst option because you are stuck for several seconds in a completely punishable state. However, that's going to seal out that stock. Ulti with a very slight lead. I'm interested to see what Daioutzu does. Possibly he needs to keep the ball slower like we were saying earlier, but at the same time, once it gets going fast, these players have shown that they are able to keep themselves matched.
Man, both these players positioning themselves very aggressively, hoping to just clean up each other's stocks with these, parries. Ulti a little bit better at it.
That was something right there. I'm actually interested to see what you were saying about the aggressive positioning coming out from both players, because usually in a lot of games, people will hold back a bit further, try and safe zone the angles, try and end up in the spot where angles will converge, but these guys are going straight in. It's either full return or no return, you know?
Yeah, so like I said with the Daioutzu, he likes to keep people in the corner, and one way to do that is to just play very aggressively. He capitalizes on get-up attacks and wake-ups in general. Whereas like ulti, his character favors aggressive play because you are trying to just force yourself to keep ball control and then set up bad situation for your opponent.
I feel like Daioutzu actually read that, but he actually swung. This looked like a missed time there.
Yeah, high-speed mid-map straights are very, very tough to deal with because you'll anticipate them, but by the time you put in input for them, it comes back from the other way and hits you in the back.
Yep. And I will say that, in case you guys aren't aware, the hitboxes in this game are quite generous for swings in general and for bunts as well. But it's not going to save you from everything. It's not going to hit your back. I mean, smash attacks kind of hit behind you, but that's not the point. It's not going to hit your back. Ooh, solid return by Dio. Says, your straight angle, nah, my straight angle, man.
Yeah, taking advantage of a, drop down bunt and reduced hit lag on that, so...
I really like how Ulti's actually controlling the ball there. That was just essentially spacing himself for the full charge into the bunt. And just... Ah, man, it looks beautiful, okay? Ball control in this game is deceptively difficult, so...
Real quick, I would like that Daioutzu opted for a throw there. He put the ball past Ulti's hitbox, and since the ball speed was high enough, it rebounded before Ulti could react to it.
By the way, I was surprised on that stock that Dio wasn't trying to speed up the ball too much, considering he was at kill speed for pretty much anything, and he was doing a lot of neutral hits. However, with Ulti's aggressive positioning from both of these players, it's kind of hard to safely smash attack. Oh, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, I think if Daioutzu wants to overall win these games, he needs to stick to what he knows, and that is just keeping ball in control, doing a very very stop and go play style and using time and mix ups to his advantage. Because right there, that whole stock is the perfect example of how Daioutzu plays. He puts you in a corner, he hits you once, you get knocked down. You opt for get up attack. He throws the ball the other way, and then he hits you again with it. And then you do a normal get-up so you don't get baited, and then he just hits the ball at you. He is just so on top of you when you're in the corner.
Also, I just wanted to say that Dio with the end game bring it taunt, possibly trying to tell Ulti, this is going to be a 3-1. I may have dropped one second game there, but it's ending now. And now we get the the desert map. Again, the only one that I've really heard people talk about as being genuinely different, but it's still a square enough. Down bunt.
Down bunt. Daioutzu opting for a straight angle and Ulti positioning himself directly behind and able to get that down bunt.
Long hit pause coming out from Dio. Parry extend. Not leading into anything quite yet. The down throw, slow switch flip. That was not enough of a charge to reduce the hit pause.
Neutral swing was a weird choice there. I would have probably gone with grab or a charge, but I mean, it ended up working out. The Dice's down angle managed to sneak behind ulti and get that stock.
I really do like what you were saying about the whole stop and go, and especially with the timing mix-ups, because Daio's ability to mix up people, especially by just looping the ball back around into himself on an angle that he know they won't return it, and then grabbing it. It's just, grabs are so good in this game for when you actually do have ball control, because traditionally people think that they're used to punish parries, but really, grabbing your own ball is amazing, because it just is such a timing mix-up. Right as I said it.
That is an unfortunate situation for Daioutzu, but thankfully the angle gods favored him.
They really did.
So yeah, like I said, and as like I pointed out, you'll notice it more. Every time like Daioutzu is playing against someone, he wants them to be sandwiched between the wall and himself. He's gonna like close the gap between the wall and just force them closer to it. And if they move to the other side, he's just gonna stay right on top of them and follow them.
That was some fast play coming out. Ulti manages to get the parry. Good timing. By the way, guys, in case you're curious, the bracket's on the actual site. If you type an ! bracket, you can check it. I'm not entirely sure if it's fully updated at the moment. I cannot speak to that, Hang can, but we'll see. Dio on his last stock for this game. It's going to go into Game 5 if he loses and seal a set if he wins. Can he come back? A little bit of a disengage from ulti there, but it actually manages to get a hit, interestingly enough, into just some standard hit. Ooh. Looks like Dio's Bring It from last game isn't happening quite yet. What are we gonna see in Game 5 though?
Yeah, we're going Game 5. I like this.
All right, right into it. These players wasting no time. They're in focus mode right now, and this is do or die. Loser gets knocked into the loser's bracket. So
Daioutzu using a neutral uncharged swing to counter ulti's swing start to start ball control, but ulti quickly regains it.
Parry's coming out from both players. Dio actually is the one that seals the stock, and man, I am gonna be interested to see how both players deal with this right now. Because they've both proven that they can play at each other's level, but they've both proven that they have very different styles.
Yes. Yeah, that is a very good point. Daioutzu overstepping his bounds a little bit. Ulti was very close to the ball, so he was able to just get that very nice and clean and close out that stock.
A little bit of bunt control coming out from Ulti. Not really getting speed off of it, though. We're not really getting any swings off of it. Ooh, unfortunate. He lost control of it there.
Yeah, Daioutzu, like on that last stock, doing very good timing mix-ups, you know, grabbing that throw right out from underneath ulti and getting, like, you know, the free damage or whatever.
Parries, man. All right, this is starting to get a little bit heated because these stocks are getting taken pretty quick, and I don't really know what to expect, especially from ulti at the moment.
Yeah, like, I mean, oh my god.
What a solid...
Ulti's pressuring Daioutzu like Daioutzu pressures everyone. He's keeping him in the corner. Up angle.
Mistimed.
Up angle going tall.
All right, okay. Leading into the end of this, Daio has to start dealing with these parries better. He has to do something. He keeps getting hit by them, and it's causing a lot of problems. And it seems that Daio's response so far is just to parry more himself, which isn't actually getting him as much of a advantage as he really wants. Into the grab, ulti with the charge return. Scuffle situation. Dio with the spec, and it actually lands it. Curveball to the top right, top left corner. So
yeah, that stock was very tight. And like you said, you know, Daioutzu needs a way to start dealing with parries. He started to implement that a little bit. One thing about Switch is you can still grab his Switch Flip. Like, if he activates Switch Flip, you can grab out of it. So he's starting to throw out grabs a little more in situations where ulti's options are Switch Flip or parry.
All right, and this is possibly Winners bracket stock for ulti, starting out with getting grabbed from parry. That's not a good situation for him.
There we go.
Was Dio holding on? Was Dio reading the parries for grabs this whole time and he was waiting to use it in a high-pressure situation? That could be true, but ulti, almost no HP left. He's got to speed up the ball, but the spec from Dio is going to pull it out, and that is the set. Dio takes it 3-2, Game 5 situation.
Very impressive game. Both players played very, very well. I'm excited to see what ulti does, in losers finals, and I'm really excited to see how this tournament wraps up as a whole. But yeah, next match we have on the plate is Hangboy and Bobzilla, I believe.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and restart my game to get us ready for that. Also, yeah, guys, I was keeping an eye on what you were saying. Definitely, that was a great set. Ulti really showing up today. I mean, sure, he didn't necessarily take it, but he pressured Dio like Dio pressures people, and that was impressive.
Yeah, it was definitely a sight to behold. Yeah, Ulti played very, very well that game. Much better than I think anyone would have given him credit for in this tournament.
All right, can you go ahead and keep an eye on Hangboy, or go ahead and message Hangboy, set up the next lobby link and all of that while I update some bracket stuff on my end? Final match.
Yep.
This is Hangboy and who are we looking at? Hangboy and Bobzilla, right? Hey, there we go.
Alright, I'm joining the lobby right now. I'll be in there shortly.
Cool. Ulti, we did enjoy that. That was intense, dude. Most fun match of Lethal League Blaze you've ever had. That was one of the most fun I've watched, dude.